Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 3. Why does it seem like it's further along than that? It's only episode 3, you guys. So with no more further ado, let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show starts with Sheree. Sheree has her chef there. She's been having, I don't know if that's a live-in chef or what, but the girl is always there, it seems. No, she's not living because we saw when she brought it last time. But she has her chef there again because she has her girls coming over, you know, just for girl time hangout. It'll be Sonya and it's going to be Marlo. So when Sonya gets there first, they sit down with their, looks like it's mimosas, because I think they're having brunch. And Sonya was just saying how much fun they had at BravoCon, but oh my God, it was so much. BravoCon has become an event in and of itself, child. I mean, it is a big to-do. I guess that's their convention for Bravo, but it's all about the Housewives, all of the franchises. They are the main draw, the main attraction, I think, anyway. So anyway, she said she was exhausted. They need a little break, a vacation from the damn BravoCon. Now, Marlo brings up the rear, and Marlo's exhausted. You know, she was like, she didn't land till 3 in the morning, I guess, coming back from wherever BravoCon was. Is it up in New York? I think it's in New York. And then there was some shit that was going down with one of her nephews, but you know, that's her boys. She loves her boys. Okay, last season she was tired of them. This season she loves them. I think she realized that maybe that last season was one that didn't make her look all that good. Anyway, Marla was like, did you see what Mama Joyce had to say about Todd? Oh, yes, didn't we all? It was all over the blogs, honey. Mama Joyce, of course, had a lot to say about Todd, and I was actually kind of disappointed that she did that because I thought that they was past all that. I mean, we all know that Mama Joyce probably really don't like Todd that much, but I thought that they all got to a point where, you know, they respect each other and they're not going to be, you know, she's not going to be saying stuff like that about him. But I guess you can't, you don't never know what's gonna come out that lady's mouth. And of course, they're all saying that the streets are still talking, honey. Mama Joyce is the streets. Ain't nobody talking about Todd like that. Drew was also there, and Sonya, you know, they have that checkered past. You know, Drew, Sonya says she's just tired of trying to figure out if her and Drew are even gonna be friends. You know, Drew continues to be shady, says things, and they ain't really been right ever since the reunion. Then they talk about Sheree and Kenya talking. Sheree tells them how Kenya had stopped by, and they were talking about Martell. And, you know, Sheree is just disappointed that the ladies are acting the way that they want. She wants them to respect him. You know, she said that he's funny and he's kind and he treats her good. And so she doesn't want the ladies to be having him feeling like he is not welcome there, even though many of them will probably say that he's not. Marlo was like, I gotta come clean with you. Now, when I first heard about you and Martell seeing each other, I wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it at all. But, you know, now that he's been around and he does show up for you, you know, he's been around a few times. She's met him. You know, he seems to be cool. He hasn't done anything cross or out of line. So Marlo says she's going to give him a chance. Okay. I mean, hell, it's all about whatever Sheree wants anyway. Now, speaking of Marlo, she's out with her nephews. Okay. And this is it look like they're just running up to Lenox Mall to pick up some things, but they're talking about Christmas. It's Christmas time and they're talking about the Christmas gifts. One of them wants some $1,000 pair of shoes, and Marlo was just like, well, that sounds like you got to have straight A's in order to get $1,000 shoes for Christmas. And he was like, I do have straight A's. Okay. So I guess she'll be buying them for them. You know, they're at Neiman. She's picking up a bracelet and some other stuff, it looked like, and the person is bringing it out to her. And yes, hangout time with Auntie Marlo, or what is the word that she calls herself? Monty. Marlo asks them if they can see any differences in Monty, and one of them says that yeah, they can tell that she is trying, and that's all you can do when you're a parent, right? Jumping over to Kenya, we see Kenya at home, and Kenya is working with her team Her assistant is there, and then she's got her graphic artist assistant or graphic artist that's on the line. She's fussing with them because I guess she's had a meeting with Kenya Moore Hair Care, her team there, and shit ain't right. The graphics aren't right. They're not the right size. She needs you to get this done like immediately. She needs it in 3 minutes. Okay. So, yeah, gotta crack the whip every now and then when you a boss. You know, that's just how it goes sometimes. Anyway, she gets on the FaceTime with Magneta, and she tells Magneta that she is going to actually be working at the Magic City Classic this year, the HBCUs, when they have their halftime performance, and I guess they have like their cheerleaders or their dancers or whatever down there in the field dancing. Kenya's going to be performing with the group. I don't know if it's with the group or if she's performing with the band, I should say, not with the dancers. But anyway, so Magneta is a choreographer. I forgot all about that. I do remember hearing that about her, but I forgot. So she's getting with Magneta to see if, you know, she can choreograph something for her. And, you know, Magneta's like, sure, you know, it's going to be something really nice. You know, the performance with the band. So they're both excited about that. Then jumping over to Candy, we see Candy going over to Candy Coated Entertainment, the building. She's meeting Don over there, you know, right before her and Todd are about to go and watch, I'm assuming, maybe the Hawks. Or, yeah, the Hawks play basketball. She said she was on her way to a basketball game. She's all sexy. Don was like, you want them to win? Okay, how are they going to concentrate with you looking so sexy? Anyway, before she leaves, though, you know, let's just real quickly, let's go over the list of things that Candy got coming up. Okay, so she gets on the whiteboard and she's writing out all of the things that she got to do. Okay, it's like a 10-point list of all the things. And then at the very bottom is Todd's movie. I was like, Todd couldn't get up a couple of points on that, Candy. This the fuck what Todd is talking about. Okay, can he get a little support, please? So Candy was just like, I want to be a part of the movie, so I'm going to executive produce it. I don't want to star in it because then they'll say that we only did it because I wanted to be the star. Okay, so Candy's going to sign on as executive producer. Maybe we can prioritize that just a little bit, Candy, just a little bit. While she's there talking to Don, Magneta shows up, who I didn't recognize. I was like, why does she look so different? I mean, I actually rewound it. I watched this episode on TV. I normally watch on my phone, but I actually watched this on TV and I was like, dang, that don't look like her. But yeah, it was her. It was Magneta. Magneta tells her how much fun they had in New York, you know, at the piano lesson, the premiere. They were all out there. I don't know if it was the premiere, but they were all out there to see the play. And so they had a good time. I think it was the premiere because she said that they were all on the red carpet and all of that. You know, Magneta was like proud of her. You deserve it all. So anyway, while they're sitting there talking, then they start talking about BravoCon. And, you know, of course, the talk of BravoCon, at least in this episode, is what Mama Joyce had to say. Don was like, it's supposed to be fun, but of course every year is some bullshit. And so he had mentions how Mama Joyce was being shady about Todd's job. And Candy was annoyed that she did that, you know, because I think that Candy probably thought, like I did, that at least we could get to a point where Mama Joyce ain't downing the man in public and doing stuff like this still, you know. Like, I left from there and I ain't talked to the lady since. And Don was like, well, have you talked to her about, you know, when she says those things, how it makes you feel? And she was just like, I have talked to her until I'm blue in the face. It ain't no talking no more. The lady knows what she knows how I feel about it, and she's still going to do it. But I don't care about what you think about my husband. I just need you to respect my marriage. And that is the key word. Please respect the marriage. If something does happen between Todd and Candy, Mama Joyce, you'll be the first person that we reference. Okay, we'll make sure that we reach out to you to get your statement on it. But until then, leave them people alone. They happy. And then lastly, Drew, you guys. I wanted to get all of the rest of the girls out the way because this episode was all about Drew. I guess since she hasn't really been on because she was out of town. I mean, we did see her last week, but not that much. So yeah, Drew. She and Ralph are at a rock climbing place. You know, she says that last year got pretty rough for them. So they started going to see a counselor. They saw Dr. Ken. He worked them through a lot of things. So now they're in a good place, and they make it a point to take their dates and their date nights. They make sure that they spend time with each other away from the kids and everything, just so they can connect. So in this case today, we're at the rock climbing place. Pretty random, but I guess maybe they thought this would be something fun. So, they go up and down a few different walls, different technicalities, how easy or hard it is. And then, afterwards, she was like, this is fun. We got to bring the kids here. Yeah, that would be a good place for the kids. So anyway, they sit down and they're talking. So she asked Ralph, how do you feel about me going from being like a full-time stay-at-home mom with the kids to me getting back to my career and singing and everything? And he was just like, yeah, I think that's what's up. That was always the plan anyway. He was like, we're gonna be like Ike and Tina. And she was just like, Ike and Tina? Okay, I thought was thinking more like Beyonce and Jay-Z. I was like, Beyonce and Jay-Z? I was thinking more like Al and Peggy Bundy. She's excited about her music career, and she says, the album, the song is doing well. She checked that morning and it had over 30,000 streams. I think it was at 33 and some change. And he was just like, oh yeah, babe, that's good. He was like, well, really, that's not really good. And she was like, that's not good? And he was like, no, not really. I mean, when you think about marketing and everything, like it should be way more than that. I mean, it's good for the way that we're doing things, but that's still not like great numbers. I was like, boy, way to hold your wife up, Ralph. First, you compare yourself to a well-known abuser, and now you telling her that her music career ain't doing what she thought it was doing. And as far as Ralph is concerned, this is where he gets off. It's a stop. He was just like, yeah, I'm glad that I was able to help you get to where you are, but I'm kind of ready to move on to other things. I was like, well, damn. And she's just sort of looking at him like, oh. Half of the things that Ralph does on this show, it feels like she don't find out until she's on the show. Like, you know how some people, they just like prepare ahead of time, pre-game and whatnot. I don't know if Drew and Ralph really does this. At least Ralph knows what he gonna say. Drew just reacts. So she's like, I don't know where this is coming from. She's feeling blindsided by him wanting to pull out all of a sudden. So then she starts telling him about BravoCon and how it was like extremely lit, from what we could see. It was. And she was just like, and they just kept on talking about how much Ralph gaslights me. How much Ralph gaslights me. What I did realize actually between Ralph and Drew, that these two seem like they have, how it is when that you're not getting along with your spouse and shit, so you take these digs that only the two of you guys know, you out in public and shit. Everybody else might be looking at you and thinking like, oh, okay, they okay, because they always smiling at each other and all of this, but it's kind of one of them grin and bear it looking smiles, and it's kind of one of them like passive aggressive, like you could tell that there's tension there, but they really are trying to give it to us like they just get along, love each other to death, super supportive of each other and everything. But yeah, Drew and Ralph, well, I mean, we already know they are no longer an item, so we're seeing it play out in real reality show real time. Now, later on, we see that Ralph and Drew have invited Courtney over. Remember, Courtney and Ralph figured out that they were related to each other. I said Ralph was probably trying to push up on Courtney and then realized that after they talked a minute that this is his damn cousin. Okay? And I'm trying to figure out why all of a sudden they just this close. Drew was like, he talks to his cousin all the time, and she's coming over, and I want to make sure that I impress her. And I was just like, he was talking to his cousin like that. He just met as a woman. I mean, I guess. I mean, we ain't gonna read nothing into this, but whatever. So, Courtney comes over, and again, it's more that. Oh, it gets on my nerves so bad. Courtney has brought her baby daddy with her, okay? And her baby daddy just happens to be Bryce, who used to be in Groove Theory. Bryce, for those of you guys who are too young to remember this or know this, Bryce used to be extra, extra, extra fine. Everybody used to have the biggest crush on him. He was super quiet in Groove Theory, never really said much. Yeah, I guess he's got kids with Courtney. She says that they used to date back in the day, but they don't any longer, that she is just, that they are just co-parents. They successfully co-parent together. And I guess they friends too, considering she brought him to this. I was just like, why is he there? And then Bryce didn't say nothing. He just over there smiling, just a little fluffed up, He looked the same, but just a little fluffier. And not quite a bufferino, but fluffy. And, he just seems to be there for moral support for Courtney, because like I said, the man ain't really saying nothing. I mean, he was uncomfortable and I was too. So, anyways, they come in and, Drew is telling them how she's got this event coming up. She's going to be singing, she wants them to come. That's fine. Courtney's going to come. And then she was like, oh, I need to call Candy. I need to call Candy and invite her. I was like, oh, so you have to call Candy right at this moment, huh? It's just that pressing that Candy, of all people, when you already heard that Candy and Courtney got into it, now you have to make the FaceTime call. I mean, at least Courtney has sense enough to be like, I'll let you make your call. I'm going to walk out of the room. Okay? But because Drew's ass is not slick. So she gets Candy on the phone and she was just like, hey, Candy, I was just sitting here with Courtney. Courtney is Ralph's cousin. And I was just telling her about it. And Candy was just like, why are you going to call me with that girl there? She don't like me. I don't like her. Like, nigga, you being messy. Oh, no, I'm not being messy. What do you mean? I don't have a messy bone in my body. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not that same shit that Drew always does. Oh, what, me? What did I do? I didn't say anything. I just was in. She gets on my nerves so bad with that. Candy was just like, bitch, you're not slick. Okay? You just trying to start some shit. Thank you for the invitation. I mean, I guess I'll be there. But yeah, you still not slick. Candy had a for real side eye for her. So anyway, they get off of the phone and they sit down and they're eating. So they're talking about, this thing with Candy and Courtney. I don't even understand why it is, but it is something there, So Courtney says that Sonia was really the reason why she confronted Candy, because Sonia is the one who told her that she needed to talk to her. Okay, there's a difference in talking and actually going off on somebody, acting like you bucking at them, bouncing, like Candy likes to say. Two totally different things, and I didn't even know if Sonia meant to talk. Was Sonia the one that said for her to talk to her, or was it Marlo? I do remember Marlo saying, oh yeah, you're going to have to confront her on that one. I think I even mentioned that in one of my reviews. So I guess she's going to blame it on Sonia. Now, Sonia and Drew, of course, they have bad history, and Drew is just like, I don't know what it is, but we just can't ever, it's always something. She'll say that she's my friend, and then she'll act differently when we're around the rest of the group. And Courtney was just like, she thinks that's interesting. So, I mean, I guess now Courtney and Sonia is not going to see it for each other. Now, I forgot to tell you guys this, but at some point, Drew talks to Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac. And you guys know that Candace was on a tour for her album. So when she came here to Atlanta, she had a performance at the City Winery. And apparently she had contacted Drew and asked Drew, would she come and sing a song with her? And Drew said, okay, and she'll make sure she calls all the ladies and, invites everybody out. It's going to be a good time. So she's excited about it. She is nervous, but because she hasn't sung live in front of an audience and people like this in years. Everybody knows her as an actress. They don't really know her as a singer. So, but all of the things is lining up for Drew. So she feels like all this is signs that she needs to get back to her singing career. Okay. So we see Drew go to the venue where she's going to be singing with Candace. Okay. They're going to practice. So Drew says that she loves the song that Candace said that they're going to sing together, that it resonates with her. It's talking about believing in yourself. So she goes up there to the place and she sees Candace up there doing what she does. And when Candace gets a break, she gives her a hug. Oh, hey, honey, I'm so glad you made it. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is so exciting. Drew is really, really happy. She's going to do her best. So later on that evening, We have Candy, we have Manetta, we have Sonia, we have Kenya. I was surprised actually to see Sonia, considering, but Sonia says that she is really trying to forge this friendship with Drew. Okay, she said it's been very frustrating in the past, but today she really is feeling positive about, doing something where her and Drew will get along, and that, that they can try again, once again, a friendship. How many times have we heard this sentiment from both of them? But anyway, she's there supporting. Marlo comes in, hey everybody, and Candace was like, hey, but everybody else was like, hey, So Marlo was like, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real fast. So when she left, Sonia was like, so now where's everybody with Marlo? You guys gonna be all right with her? And Candy was just like, I'm just trying to keep my distance, child. Because while we were in Jamaica, she tried to play me. And Candy don't like that. I thought y'all made up in Jamaica. Didn't she give you some chicken? And then y'all, bringing up the rear, here comes Courtney, all that high-ass screaming. Bring it down. Just bring it down. Candy looks up at her and just rolls her eyes like, I don't need a new friend. Like, I could care less about this girl. But anyway, now that the girls are all there, Candace gets on with the show, and she's doing her regular performance. Looks like she's having a good time. She looks good. She sounds good. She's got the Beyonce fan up there. She's got her long flowing blonde hair, all of that. Then it comes a time where she invites Drew up there to sing with her. Okay. And, I'm guessing that this is actually a song, because it sounded like, for a minute, those two were just kind of vibing off of each other. I was like, is this actually a song on Candace's album? I feel like the name of the song was, what is it? I'm gonna love me all the way. Okay, I'm gonna be right here no matter what they say. I'm gonna love me all the way. I don't even remember how the song goes, and I don't have the energy to go find it, you guys. It was it almost sounded like an interlude for what we heard anyway. Okay. And I thought maybe they just shortened the little set that we saw because of in the interest of time on the show, right? But everybody that was there, they was just like, is this all that Drew is going to do? Now, apparently Drew was up there for 43 seconds and some change. I'm assuming Candace must have like a 2-hour set or something, right? We couldn't get that bitch 5 minutes, one song. 43 seconds is not even a full song, so I don't really know what she was doing. I wouldn't have invited all these people around here just to see me up there for less than a minute. Okay, girl, you was up there for a hot second, so they was all debating like she must be coming back out. She gotta be coming back out. No, she's not coming back out. Candace was like, that's it. And really, I would have been mad if I had paid my ticket to go see Candace and she had somebody else there singing anyway, because this ain't like a full-blown concert where you got an opening act and everything. Or if you do have an opening act, then you have them at the opening. All right. And then I don't want to see them no more, because that ain't who I came here to see. So, I understand why Candace was just like, the producers just asked me to do some cute little thing with you for a few seconds or whatever. But the girls was all like, nigga, we didn't got dressed up for this, for the ad-libs. But, Drew was so excited, and I was like, listen, honey, if you like it, we gonna love it. Okay, here come Ralph with his bouquet of flowers. Oh, baby, you did it. Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you, baby. Okay. For 43 seconds, girl, we ain't even got a full verse. I really want to see the whole thing that they did. But as far as they're concerned anyway, hey, Drew Sidora is back, baby. Candace finishes her performance. It's all good. It's over. Afterwards, the ladies kind of get together in an after party type of environment. It wasn't a party, but they were somewhere else. Where they're just kind of sitting around and talking to each other. When Drew finally comes into the room, Kenya was just like, so kind of explain to us why you just had like that little small, like woo, woo, woo type of performance. Like, we thought you was really going to be performing. And she says what I said, it was Candace's show. She just was coming as a guest and all of that. But really, you ain't did nothing. But, nobody wanted to break Drew's spirit. She looked excited. She was happy to see Sonia there. She didn't expect to see Sonia there. And Sonia was like, yeah, I'm here. She's supporting. Now let's talk about BravoCon. I was was like, you ain't waste no time, huh, Sonya? So Drew had her shady things to say at BravoCon, and then Drew said, and then I realized that, you had unfollowed me. And I was like, oh, she unfollowed me, when the merchandise dropped. When the merch dropped, then I looked around and you unfollowed me, and I guess you were upset about whatever the damn merchandise said. Whatever it is, them two decide to squash the beef once again. Okay, for the 11th time, these two are going to be friends. But everybody is hopeful that they can mend their differences. Now, Candy says, Courtney, I heard that you had some things to say to Sonya about me being ghetto. And so then Courtney, well, I didn't say that you were ghetto. I said that, that the people that were there were hood, and I love the hood. I'm from the hood, okay? But I wasn't talking about you. I was just like, and I don't know what it is about Courtney, but she triggers Candy. She triggers the fuck out of Candy. I was like, Candy, you is too mad about Courtney. Like, is there something more to this story that we don't know? Because I don't know why she allows Courtney to get up under her skin, but immediately that girl, you can tell that Candy is genuinely irritated with her. It's not a for TV kind of thing, okay? That immediately Candy be talking, because whenever she got that, when she don't have no kind of smirk on her face, or her voice is like, when she got that real tight, like I'm talking to you and something, when she started doing all of that, she's really mad. So I was just like, why Courtney get under your skin? Candy, quit giving that girl your time. You say I bring the hood out, but you are hood. Okay. Yes, I'm hood. I'm from the... Okay, whatever. I can't take more than 3 episodes of Candy and Courtney arguing. So let this be it, please. Then Sonya was like, okay, my turn. Manetta, I asked you what were the problems that you had with Marlo in Jamaica. And Manetta said, that her issue with Marlo was that she was disrespectful, basically. To Manetta, it's all about kindness, okay? And Marlo, well, we know Marlo is not what we would consider kind. And Marlo was just like, are you done, Manetta? Like, is that what you wanted to talk to me about? So then Drew was just like, oh my God, Candy, what happened at the restaurant? That you had a little incident recently. And Candy was just like, what incident? And then Marlo was like, oh, you talking about the shooting? And she was just like, well, yeah. And Candy was like, well, we're not talking about that, okay? It's a legal matter. Marlo was just like, oh, well, I'm about to leave then, because the minute that you got to say anything about Candy, she gonna shut it down. She don't want nobody to know about any of her issues or whatever she got going on. And then Candy was just like, okay, then let's talk about the girls whose face you sliced up. Oh, they always want to bring that up. That happened 23 years ago. They bring up her mug shots. They bring up the violence. She talked about how, they talk about her dating old white men. It's always something, but we can't say nothing bad about Candy. Marlo don't like that. Anytime you got anything bad to say about Candy, you go and get the Swiffer broom and you just sweep it under the rug. Okay, and Drew was like, all right, enough about that. The night was about love, okay? Love, 43 seconds of it. It was an amazing night, and I guess the ladies all agree that they had a nice time. Now, you would think that would be it, but then they show us 30 minutes after they finished rapping, okay, and wasn't officially getting any more footage, we see Drew and Marlo. They're having an argument. Or at least Marlo is having an argument. And I was so confused because I wasn't really clear on what Marlo's argument even was. Marlo was mad at Drew for not saying the word shooting, okay? You called it an incident. And she was just like, because it was an incident. She was like, yeah, but it was a shooting, and you're downplaying, and you should have said shooting. Why couldn't you say shooting? I don't know what it was, but something had Marlo very upset. I had a nephew that worked for Candy, that worked at one of the restaurants, and remember when she was telling us that she had a nephew that was killed? Well, this is the nephew that she's talking about. Apparently, her nephew was killed, not at the restaurant or anything. It wasn't connected to the restaurant, but her nephew was killed, so she had text messaged Candy and told her, like, you remember so-and-so that used to work at your restaurant? He got killed last night. And Candy was like, oh, wow, sorry to hear that. Not really no whole bunch of words or anything. I mean, because you know she already don't see it for Marlo, so it wasn't like she was going to get into no full conversation with her. But Marlo was the one that was reaching out to Candy. So Candy said, you know, I'm sorry to hear that, but that was pretty much it. But I guess Marlo was upset about it because Candy didn't acknowledge it enough. Like I don't understand. You know, my nephew died and she didn't even say anything, and I was just like, what was she supposed to say? Did she want her to be more upset? I genuinely didn't know what Marla was fussing about, what she was upset about, what she expected Candy to do about it. Like, I just was confused. And so was Drew, you know, so she just kept on saying, but you couldn't say shooting. You wouldn't say shooting. And Drew was just like, okay, but wait a minute. Drew was trying to talk to her. Wasn't no talking to Marlo at that time. She just yelled in her face, my nephew died. My nephew died, you know. And she walked out and Drew looked at the camera like, what happened here? I don't know. So maybe one of you guys that was paying more attention can explain to me, why was it that Marlo got that upset? Okay. Is she really, really upset about the fact that nobody talks about stuff that she feels that they should talk about Candy? Because I feel like Candy pretty much gives us her whole life. Okay. And so I don't really know what Marlo is talking about. All right. But maybe y'all can explain it better, child. All right, rock stars, that is it. I'm going to get off of here and get this edited, and it will be up today, which is Tuesday, child. Ooh, these videos. You would think working from home, it would be easy to get to them, but it's not as easy. I still have to kind of stick to my, you know, doing my videos on my lunch break schedule because I have work to do, like work. So there's that, you guys. But anyway, let me get off of here. Make sure that you thumbs up this video, comment, subscribe to this channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.